Welcome to Conflict News 24. Today's bulletin includes news stories from Iran, where demonstrations started around 4 weeks ago and demonstrations continue. Secondly, Crimea, where main bridge linking Crimea with Russia was blown up today, but just a few minutes ago, Russia announced that the bridge has been reopened for traffic. And thirdly, Russia has appointed a new general to command military operations in Ukraine, in Donbass. Who is this new general? Why is Russia appointing a new general? Does it indicate that Russian military strategy is suffering a setback in Ukraine? Firstly, Iran, viewers, where around 4 weeks ago, massive protests erupted after the death of a 22-year-old girl, Mahsa Amini, Iranian Kurdish girl who was arrested by Iranian police over allegedly improper dressing. For 3 days, she remained in police custody, and on the 16th of September, she was pronounced dead. And after that, we saw start of demonstrations in Iranian Kurdistan province, because she was from this province, and then the protests spread across Iran. Women are spearheading these demonstrations. Women have been seen taking off and throwing away their headscarves, chanting slogans against Iranian government, setting their headscarves on fire in public, dancing, singing in public. Women, youth, all are part of these demonstrations. Around a month has passed so far. Government is not able to control the demonstration, though crackdown is underway. Hundreds have been arrested so far. And now students are joining, government workers are joining. On Saturday, in Iranian capital, protests were held. We have some clips for you. One clip is from Amir Kabir University in Tehran, where students demonstrated, protests, chanted slogans. Then another clip is from Nasir Khosrow Khordad, which is Khordad intersection in Tehran. Here again, death to dictator, death to Khamenei was chanted by protesters. Iran is accusing 3 countries that they are behind these demonstrations. Saudi Arabia, Iran's arch rival in the Middle East, both represent different schools of thought. Both are Muslims, but both. Iran represents the Shia Muslim, Shia school of thought, while Saudi Arabia represents another school of thought. Both are Muslim countries. Secondly, Iran accuses Israel. Thirdly, US, that they are involved in fueling the unrest in Iran. But there are internal issues as well, economic crisis, strict laws imposed by the government, and some foreign involvement too. We have some clips for you. First one is from Amir Kabir University of Tehran, Iranian capital, where on Saturday people protested, students. And then second and third clips are from Tehran, again Tehran. So you see that if people are able to protest in Iranian capital, we can easily conclude that these protests are being held across Iran. Internet shut down, social networking sites are shut down, people being arrested, but still people are not scared. They are protesting on daily basis. We are seeing protests across Iran. What are the clips?
مردم اینجا سنگر درست کردن.
Secondly, because Russia has appointed a new general to command military operations in Ukraine. Sergei Sorovikin is the new general who will command all operations ongoing in Donbass in Ukraine. Who is he? He is a top general already working as in charge of south grouping of Russian troops in Ukraine and Donbass. Russian and other troops, LPR, DPR troops. And now he is overall in charge of all operations in Donbass in Ukraine. He is known as General Armageddon. It is said that he is a hardliner, unorthodox type of general. So it means that firstly, Russian military strategy in Ukraine is suffering setbacks. That is why Russia is appointing new officers and officers who are known as hardliners. Russia is definitely planning something big, it seems. Preparations are underway. Hundreds of thousands are being recruited. Reservists are being recalled. Hardliners are being appointed as leading generals to command operations in Ukraine. And Russia is threatening that the war could go beyond Ukraine as well. So all these things indicate that Russia is a little frustrated. That is why we're seeing these moves. Russian plans in Ukraine are not going according to the plan. That is why new appointments, retreats from Kharkiv, from northern Donetsk, and now fighting in Lugansk and in Kherson as well, where Ukrainians have retaken some territories. Russia is trying to realign its forces in Ukraine. Thirdly, viewers, Ukraine has proven its capability to hit Russians behind front lines. More than 100, 200 kilometers behind front lines, Ukrainians have hit Russians in the form of airstrikes, in the form of drone strikes, HIMARS, and in the form of some operations involving some agents, some operatives backed by Ukrainian forces. And today, once again, on Saturday, Russia was again hit by Ukrainian forces behind front lines, where in Crimea. Crimea was annexed by Russia in 2014. And Russia built a bridge to connect Crimea with Russia. Crimea was not geographically connected with Russia. In 2014, Russia annexed Crimea. A referendum was held there, like referendums were held in Zaporizhia, Kherson, Lugansk, Donetsk a few days ago, and then Russia announced annexation of the 4 zones. Same happened in 2014. Crimea annexed after Russia held a referendum there, unrecognized by all the countries in the world almost. Then Russia built a bridge, connected Crimea with mainland Russia. The bridge was a road bridge and a rail bridge, a 4-lane road bridge and a 2-lane rail bridge were constructed to connect Russia, mainland Russia, with the Crimea. 19-kilometer long bridge, one of the longest bridges in Europe. On Saturday morning, the bridge was partially blown up. How was it blown up? Through some airstrike, drone strike, HIMARS strike, through some planted device, or through some suicide vehicle blast. Most experts say that it was a suicide vehicle blast. The blast happened while a fuel train was moving along the rail bridge. Both the rail bridge and the road bridge, they were partially damaged. And after that, Ukrainian officials celebrated, they issued celebratory messages, they made fun of Russians. Though Ukraine did not officially take the responsibility for this attack in Crimea. Putin announced enhancement of security arrangements in Crimea. This isn't the first time that Crimea has been hit. We have seen drone strikes on Crimea, on Russian bases in Crimea a few weeks ago. So that shows Ukrainian capability to hit dozens, hundreds of kilometers behind front lines. And it is definitely a matter of concern. It wasn't a drone strike or an airstrike, it was an operation. It means that Ukraine has this capability that its operatives, its agents can hit hundreds of kilometers behind front lines. Reportedly, the bridge has been partially opened for traffic because it has 4 lanes. Road bridge has 4 lanes. 2 lanes were destroyed, one part of the bridge, road bridge. Other part was intact. So the other part with 2 lanes has been reopened for traffic. Rail bridge is still not open for traffic, but in coming hours, rail bridge could be opened as well. Again, a blow to Russian forces. That it's not that they can do whatever they want to do in Ukraine. Rather, Russians are coming under pressure gradually. And this pressure can lead to some desperate move from Russian President Putin. I have some clips for you. First, 2 clips show how the bridge was destroyed on a Saturday morning. Second clip shows that the bridge, one road of the bridge, 2 lanes have been reopened for traffic, though repair work is underway on rail bridge and on the other part of road bridge which has been destroyed. Watch the clips. Thank you for watching.